Look, as such, they're not painted. They don't have a layer of paint, so they're colored throughout the material.
We are in the Dmitrovsky district. The project is a house constructed using aerated concrete blocks. It's 9 by 9 and the height is 9 meters from the base to the ridge. So the house will be insulated with 5 centimeters. Next, the membrane will be installed as usual. The buttons will be metal, the windows will be finished with metal as well, and facade panels and soffits will be used here accordingly. So, look, here's another thing. If you have a canopy, that's not very good.
For this canopy, you'll need an extra board and a bar so that we can make walkways to walk on, since walking directly on bare tiles isn't very good because you can dent them.
So, look, first we install the bar, we lay it on the roof stiffeners, then we mount a board across it, and then we install the scaffolding on the board, something like that.
This is how it should be done.
Since we didn't have enough scaffolding, we'll probably move some over here from that side later. So here we have the wall that's on the roof, and there's still 5 meters to the ridge from the canopy. It's a tall house. We'll have to install more scaffolding here, meaning we'll need to set up additional ones.
Well, that's how it is, guys. Here, everything looks like this, just like this.
Let's see what we've got. In the end, we see and notice that the board is crooked, so we'll have to either replace it or straighten this one out. We'll see. Still, I think we'll probably replace it with a new one.
Here we see that our block is flush with the foundation, and that's the right way to do it.
So we've run into a few issues.
One of the corners looks straight and nice, but the other one is a bit crooked, which isn't very good. And the rafter bent a little. Since the 6 meter one wasn't enough, they joined it, and at this spot it bent, so it's not turning out very well. We ended up with a nice little pocket here. You can put something in there.
By the way, here you can see the rafters are joined with a stud and washers, but that still won't save you because you need an additional support.
There should be an additional support in the middle for such heavy rafters. So we have a board that's 50 by 200 and the slope length is 730, which is very long. The board is also very heavy, so everything bends.
That's why, in your case, if you're going to make such a long slope, you'll need an additional support like this one in the middle.
We can see what's at the very top here. We can see our studs here. Everything is installed, but the point is, they won't save you. As you can see, the slope has sagged. That's why I say there should be an extra support in the middle, something like that. And the metal here is probably 0.4, the thinnest one. The minimum metal I install is 0.45. Alright guys, the metal has arrived. Now we're going to unload it all.
Alright guys, let's go. I'll tell you a little bit. So from this angle we can see and observe. We've also assembled the frame, made it at 90 degrees as you can see. And we've also installed the drainage system. It's called Lux. We've also matched the slopes to the color 7024 and the gutter is the same color as well. Accordingly, there will be panels on the foundation of this color. The foundation is insulated with 50 millimeters of polystyrene foam and a horizontal profile has been installed to which a hanger and the main vertical profile for the facade panel are attached.
Next, we used insulation under the membranes, which is 50 millimeters thick. The insulation we used is Ventibats Optima with a density of 75. According to the manufacturer, you don't have to use a membrane, but I use it anyway. I always prefer to do everything with a margin, just in case.
So the profile we used is 3 meters long, 60 millimeters wide, 27 millimeters thick, and the metal thickness is 0.6 millimeters. The membrane we used is Docker. As you can see here, we've already installed the J profile, which is also known as the starter profile. The cut edge of the panel will be installed there. Since our foundation is sloped, the bottom of the panel will be trimmed and the cut panel will be hidden here in the J profile. Therefore, our J profile is also installed at an angle. So if any water gets in here, it will flow down the slope over there into the corner. Now let's talk about the windows. This is how we install our windows. I buy the metal from a good manufacturer, meaning the additional components as well. Here you can see that even the film is thick, not the thin one that tears easily. It comes off easily. Everything is installed, and here we used a receiving profile, also called a finishing receiving profile. It's called that because it's attached to the window, after which we apply foam and install the slope right here into the groove. This is what the gutter of our drainage system looks like. On this side, everything looks like this. Basically, where the veranda is, the wall is already kind of finished. You will see the finishing touches later, after all the work is completely done. Let me show you what we have on this side. It looks beautiful. As you can see, the pocket is neatly formed and has been properly covered with panels. Here we have a small window. It is incredibly beautiful. Here, we're using a strip called a simple slope or J profile. The panel will be mounted right into it. As for preparation, you need to do it very carefully and properly. That means you should have a natural sense for it. You should be a cultured, decent, and well-mannered person to install such beautiful things. A key point about the fasteners used to attach the bar and other components. So, we have this kind of dowel, 10 by 140. Here's the marking, 10 by 140, manga in packs of 150 pieces. At the moment, for this 9 by 9 house, we used 750 pieces. The dowel is also used for hollow brick and aerated concrete. So look, here's the thing. The whole corner doesn't fit down, meaning the bottom row will have to be trimmed accordingly. We've trimmed the corners to the size we need, but how do we secure the corner here? If we attach it here, it'll be loose. So, in this way, we installed these fasteners and screwed them in with self-tapping screws. Now, watch how I'm going to secure this further. Next, as you can see, the corners are installed. Now we take our pre-cut piece and place it into the J profile. The J profile, I'm installing it like this now. How is the seam formed? When we join two panels, there's a stopper here. So our panel rests against this stopper, and that's how we get a formed seam. When we use the same collections, meaning the colors are different, but the collection is the same, we don't install the drip cap. Look, as such, they are not painted, they don't have a layer of paint, so they are colored throughout the material. Here, nothing will peel off, there's no paint, nothing will flake off. That's why this is a novelty, a new technology, something like that. By the way, you won't believe it, but it's true. A really cool combination of colors, very soft, gentle, tasty, incredibly beautiful color. The slopes are so soft, it's just so cute, it's so incredibly beautiful. When you use good quality materials, everything looks proper, neat, and just as it should. To install things this beautifully and perfectly, you'll need to work hard for many years. You need to develop the skill to not just work, but to create your work with real quality. I mean, with true quality. If you do things with quality, it means you are a pure, honest, good person. couple of words about how you reached out to me in the first place, and did you like the facade?
I reached out through his channel. The work was done brilliantly. The installation is exceptionally high quality. I believe that in terms of price and quality ratio, this is probably one of the best offers in the Moscow region. Wait your turn. These guys are brilliant. They do everything excellently.
Did you contact any crews?
Yes, I contacted several crews, but unfortunately we couldn't come to an agreement. Many don't follow the installation technology, many charge too much compared to the market, and many don't have examples of their work. Thanks to Dennis for his channel, which showcases examples of his work and methods. And that's why we chose Dennis and his team. They stick to all the deadlines very precisely, clearly telling you when they'll finish. Well, I don't have any.
Did you choose us just because of the deadlines or what? Or to get quality work done?
Quality is vital, but meeting deadlines is equally important.
And regarding the color scheme that I suggested to you and the collection of facade panels, did you like it?
Yes, absolutely. For someone who doesn't know much about it, it's hard to choose colors, and Dennis always gives advice. You can always take a look. He has samples of colors and metal. We ended up with a very nice solution, both gray and cream.
Everything worked out gray and cream?
Everything worked out great.
Everything came together perfectly. Great, thank you. High five. Let's record it.
Thank you for the installation.
Respect and props to everyone. Alright guys, let me show you from this angle what we ended up with. Let's take a look. We did it according to my recommendation, and I recommend everyone to drain the water for the winter. None of the storm drains are working yet. That's why we set up this temporary solution, so that all the water goes as far away as possible. Look, the Dökelux gutter system is installed, and the soffits have central perforation, meaning the perforation is in the center for ventilation. Also, our windows are installed in this way. Well, this is how it looks here. It's really cool. I really like it. Everything matches. Everything is installed under the veranda. There was enough space to install the plinth under the veranda. The height is 90 centimeters. If your height is 60 or 50, then that means you'll be left without finishing. The ceiling on the veranda stayed the same. My task was simple: to come, install as much as possible, mainly the facade, to install the drainage system, the soffits, in other words, to do a large amount of work. Here on the veranda, we can see what we ended up with. We went around the windows. By the way, there is no drip cap here. Making the veranda without the drip cap is also an option, so we'll always do it like this. Let's move on and let's take a look from this side. Over there we have the roof, everything's installed. Let's look from this angle. You can see everything looks nice, white and clean.